Welcome to Sleep, a place where every gentle sound guides you toward peace, and every moment helps you drift into deep, restful sleep. I'm so glad you've joined me tonight. Dear listener, take a slow breath and let your shoulders soften. Let the room around you feel a little warmer, a little quieter, as if the night itself has decided to sit beside you. You do not need to do anything at all right now. Just listen. Just be here. Imagine the air resting gently against your skin, calm and unhurried, as though the world has agreed to move more slowly for you tonight. Allow your eyes to grow heavy if they wish. If they want to stay open, that is fine too. There is no rush. With each breath out, feel yourself settling more deeply into whatever supports you. A chair, a bed, a couch, the floor. Let gravity do its patient work. Let the sounds around you fade into the background, becoming part of the story rather than interruptions to it. When you feel ready, our story today sets sail at the very edge of evening. At that gentle moment when day quietly steps aside and night arrives without announcement, the world is still growing. Across a small town tucked between low hills, windows begin to darken one by one. Lamps click off, curtains are drawn, footsteps fade from the streets. Somewhere, a kettle cools on a stove, forgotten until morning. The air carries a soft chill now, the kind that slips in quietly and invites everything to slow down. Cats curl into warm corners. Birds tuck their heads beneath their wings. Even the trees seem to sigh as the breeze moves through their leaves, a soft, rustling sound like whispered goodnights. The sky deepens from blue to indigo, and then into something darker and calmer still. On a gentle hill just beyond the town, there stands a small observatory. It is not grand or tall, but it feels old in a comforting way, like it has been waiting here for a long time. A single window glows with warm amber light, steady and kind against the night. Inside, the astronomer sits quietly. A soft lamp rests on a wooden table, its light low and golden. It does not glare or strain the eyes. It simply glows. A thick blanket is wrapped around the astronomer's shoulders, the kind that carries warmth, slowly, evenly, like a held breath. Nearby, a telescope waits by the open window, angled gently toward the sky, patient and unbothered. The astronomer is not in a hurry. There is nothing urgent to discover tonight. No calculations to race through. No clocks to watch. Their purpose is simple and calm: to observe, to witness, to be present with the stars as they arrive, one by one, into the dark. They rest their hands on the table and breathe in the cool night air drifting through the window. It smells faintly of pine and distant earth. Somewhere far off, a hearth crackles in another home, a soft, comforting sound carried on the breeze. The astronomer adjusts the telescope with slow, practiced movements. There is care in every motion, but no tension. This is a ritual repeated countless nights before, and each time it brings the same quiet sense of peace. Above, the first stars begin to appear. If these quiet tales are helping you drift off, a gentle like or a silent subscribe would mean the world. It helps this sleepy corner of the internet reach others who need a little calm too. I always wonder, where in the world are you listening from right now? If you're still awake, leave a whisper of a comment, maybe your city and the time on your clock. It's a beautiful thing, this quiet little global gathering, all connected through stories and stillness. Now, let's set the mood. Dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum and get comfortable. The astronomer leans back slightly and looks up, not through the telescope yet, but with the naked eye. The sky feels vast and open, like a deep ocean turned upside down. Stars blink softly, not demanding attention, just offering their presence. Each one seems to settle into place with a quiet confidence, as if they know exactly where they belong. The astronomer smiles, just a little. They pull the blanket tighter, feeling its weight press gently across their shoulders and chest. The kind of pressure that tells the body it is safe, that it can rest now. The lamp flickers once and then steadies, its glow reflecting off glass and paper and polished wood. Outside, the breeze picks up again, brushing against the observatory walls, moving through the grass in slow waves. It carries the distant hoot of an owl, unhurried and low, like a note held for comfort rather than attention. The astronomer finally leans forward and peers through the telescope. A familiar constellation drifts into view, not exciting, not rare, simply there. The astronomer watches it, without naming it, without measuring it, just letting it exist. The stars appear sharp and calm, their light having traveled so far just to arrive here, just now, just for this quiet moment. Breathing slows, time stretches. There is a notebook on the table, its pages slightly worn at the edges. The astronomer opens it, not to write anything important, but to make a small, gentle mark, a dot, a line, a reminder that this night happened, that this stillness was real. The pencil moves softly across the paper, barely making a sound. It is a sound meant for listening closely, the kind of sound that invites sleep rather than interrupts it. The astronomer pauses, listening. The night answers with silence, full and comforting. More stars appear as the sky deepens. They do not rush, neither does the astronomer. There is a shared understanding between watcher and sky. Everything will unfold exactly as it should, without effort. The astronomer closes the notebook and rests their hands in their lap. Their breathing matches the rhythm of the breeze outside, in and out, slow, easy. Far below, the town is fully asleep now. No lights, no movement, just roofs and roads resting under the watchful sky. Dreams are beginning everywhere, drifting gently through quiet rooms. The astronomer feels no need to stay alert. The stars do not require guarding. They are content to shine on their own. The lamp's light seems softer now, or maybe the eyes have grown heavier. The blanket warms, the chair supports. The night wraps everything in calm. The astronomer leans back and closes their eyes for just a moment, knowing the sky will still be there when they open them again. The astronomer opens their eyes again, slowly, as if waking from a pleasant thought rather than sleep. The stars are still there, exactly where they were, patient and steady. Nothing has changed, and yet everything feels softer. They rise from the chair and step closer to the open window. The cool night air brushes their face, gentle and clean. It carries the scent of grass and distant water, maybe a river moving lazily somewhere beyond the hills. The kind of river that does not rush, that takes its time reaching the sea. The astronomer rests their elbows on the windowsill and looks out across the land. The town below is quiet, wrapped in darkness and trust. Roofs glimmer faintly under starlight. Roads curve like sleeping paths, content to wait until morning. Somewhere, a clock ticks, but it sounds far away, unimportant. Time feels stretched thin here, like it has decided to lie down too. The astronomer breathes in deeply, then out again, letting the breath fall away on its own. Each exhale feels longer than the last. The body grows heavier, but in a pleasant way, like sinking into warm sand or settling into a well-loved mattress. They turn back to the telescope, not with urgency, but with curiosity. A slow adjustment of the lens brings a different part of the sky into view. A cluster of stars appears, close together, glowing softly like embers. They seem to hum, not with sound, but with presence. The astronomer watches without trying to understand. Tonight is not for answers. Tonight is for noticing. The lamp casts a gentle circle of light across the floor. Dust motes drift lazily through it, moving so slowly they seem almost still. The astronomer watches them for a moment, finding comfort in their quiet dance. Even the smallest things move with grace when nothing is rushed. They return to the chair and sit, pulling the blankets snug again. The fabric is familiar, carrying the faint scent of wood smoke and clean linen. It reminds the body of safety, of rest. Outside, the breeze moves through the trees once more. Leaves rustle softly, like pages turning in a book no one is reading aloud. The sound rises and falls, steady and soothing. The astronomer lets their eyes half close, still facing the window. They do not feel sleepy exactly. They feel held, as if the night itself has taken responsibility for everything, leaving nothing for them to manage. Thoughts drift through their mind, slow and unformed, memories of other nights like this one, other skies, other quiet hours spent simply being present. None of the memories demand attention. They pass like clouds, thin and gentle. The astronomer reaches for a cup resting on the table. Inside, tea has gone lukewarm. They take a small sip anyway. It tastes faintly of herbs and warmth, comforting even without heat. They set the cup down carefully, listening to the soft sound it makes against the wood. There is something deeply satisfying about these small sounds. They feel close, real. They anchor the moment. The astronomer notices how their breathing has slowed without effort, how the muscles in their shoulders have softened, how their jaw no longer holds tension. The body understands the night better than the mind ever could. They glance once more through the telescope, just briefly. A familiar star fills the view, bright but calm. Its light feels steady, reassuring, as if it has always been there and always will be. The astronomer nods slightly, as though acknowledging an old friend. They step away from the window and dim the lamp just a little more. The room darkens, but not completely. There is still enough light to feel grounded, to feel present. Shadows stretch softly across the walls, gentle and unthreatening. The chair creaks quietly as the astronomer settles back into it. The sound blends with the night, becoming part of it rather than standing out. Everything feels connected now. The sky, the room, the quiet town below. Even you, listening, breathing slowly wherever you are. The astronomer rests their hands on their chest, feeling the steady rise and fall, in and out. No need to count, no need to guide it. The breath knows what to do. Outside, the owl calls again, farther away this time. A low, rounded sound that fades into silence. The stars continue their slow turning, unnoticed and unconcerned. The astronomer closes their eyes again, this time for longer. The chair supports them fully. The blanket keeps the warmth in. The night hums softly around them. If sleep comes, it is welcome. If it does not, that is fine too. There is no pressure here, just stillness, just quiet company. The astronomer's thoughts drift toward the idea of the sky as a vast ocean. Stars like distant lanterns floating on dark water. Currents moving slowly, invisibly, carrying light from one place to another. The image feels soothing, expansive, and peaceful. They imagine the sky breathing too, expanding, contracting, in rhythm with everything below. The mind grows quieter. The astronomer's head tilts slightly, resting against the back of the chair. Their breathing deepens further, smooth and even. The night air cools just a bit more, brushing across their skin like a soft hand. The lamp flickers once and steadies again. Nothing needs attention. Nothing needs fixing. Everything is exactly where it should be. The astronomer remains there, suspended between waking and sleep, between watching and dreaming. The stars continue their gentle vigil, content to shine without being observed. The astronomer opens their eyes again, gently this time, as if they were never fully closed. Their gaze lifts naturally toward the sky, drawn upward without effort, and there they are, familiar stars, old companions, not strangers, not mysteries to be solved, but presences that feel known in the same quiet way one knows a well-loved room in the dark. That star, slightly brighter than the others, low on the horizon, the astronomer recognizes it immediately. It always arrives early, like someone who enjoys being first but never makes a fuss about it. Another cluster sits just above, scattered softly, like grains of salt across black velvet. Each one feels placed with care, though no hand is visible. The astronomer does not name them out loud. Names feel unnecessary tonight. Recognition is enough. Above, the constellations begin to settle, not snapping into place, not forming sharply, but stretching slowly, like bodies waking from a long nap. A line of stars lengthens, another curves gently, finding a comfortable shape. They seem to adjust themselves, tiny movements over vast distances, until they rest in positions that feel right. It is almost like watching someone arrange themselves beneath a blanket. A shoulder shifts, a leg relaxes, a sigh moves through the shape, and then stillness. The sky moves, but so slowly it feels like imagination. If the astronomer were to look away and back again, they might not notice the change at all. Yet something is always happening. A quiet turning, a patient drifting. Time up here does not rush, it unfolds. Down below, time has nearly disappeared. The astronomer feels it in their body first, the absence of urgency, the lack of pull toward the future or the past. There is only this moment, wide and calm, stretching gently in all directions. They shift slightly in the chair, feeling the wood solid beneath them, the blanket warm and reassuring. Their shoulders drop another fraction, their brow smooths. Even their thoughts seem to slow, forming less often, dissolving more easily. The astronomer watches as a familiar constellation tilts just enough to catch their eye. It has always reminded them of a story once told long ago, though the details no longer matter. What remains is the feeling the story left behind, comfort, continuity, the sense that some things endure quietly, without effort. A breeze passes through the window again, softer now. It lifts the edge of the curtain and lets it fall back into place. The fabric moves like a slow breath, in and out. The astronomer notices how naturally their own breathing matches it. Inhale, exhale. There is no reason to check the time. No clock in the room demands attention. The night has gently taken that responsibility away. The astronomer leans forward just slightly, resting their forearms on their thighs, and looks up again. Their eyes trace a path between stars they have followed many times before. The path feels familiar under their gaze, like a road walked so often it no longer needs signs. The stars do not sparkle sharply tonight. They glow, steady, soft around the edges, as if the sky itself has decided to be kind. The astronomer feels a quiet warmth spread through their chest. Not excitement, not wonder exactly. Something deeper and calmer, a sense of belonging, as though they are exactly where they are meant to be, doing exactly what they are meant to be doing, which is nothing more than watching. They let their head tilt back a little farther, supported by the chair. The muscles in their neck release. The sky fills more of their vision now, dark, endless, and somehow gentle. A constellation near the center of their view seems to stretch its arms, stars shifting almost imperceptibly. It settles into a shape the astronomer recognizes instantly. They smile faintly, not because it surprises them, but because it feels reassuring, like seeing a familiar face in a crowd. The sky continues its slow movement, no sharp edges, no sudden changes, just a gradual turning, like a lullaby, sung too quietly to notice the beginning or end. The astronomer's thoughts drift again, slower this time. They think of how many nights they have spent like this, how many more will come. The thought brings no pressure, only comfort. The night does not ask for productivity. It asks only for presence. They adjust the blanket once more, tucking it closer around their sides. The weight grounds them, anchors them to the chair, to the observatory, to this small hill beneath the vast sky. The contrast feels soothing, small and large, near and far, all coexisting without conflict. Outside, the trees have gone still. The breeze rests. The leaves hold their places. Even the night sounds seem to pause, as if listening along with the astronomer. The sky feels closer somehow, not physically, but emotionally, like a quiet conversation between old friends who no longer need words. The astronomer lets their eyelids grow heavy again, not closing fully, just softening. The stars blur slightly at the edges, blending into one another. Shapes lose their sharpness, becoming impressions rather than forms. Time loosens its grip entirely now. Minutes and hours feel indistinguishable. There is only the steady rhythm of breath, the gentle presence of the sky, the quiet assurance that nothing needs to be done. The astronomer feels comforted, steady, unhurried, and as they continue to sit there, wrapped in warmth and stillness, the sky continues its slow, patient turning above them, holding its shapes, stretching when it needs to, settling again into calm, just like the astronomer, just like you. The astronomer remains still for a long while, so long that the body almost forgets where it ends and the chair begins. There is a gentle merging of comfort and presence, as though the night has slowly folded them into itself. The stars above continue their quiet conversation, speaking in light and distance rather than sound. A faint cloud drifts across part of the sky, thin as breath on glass. It does not hide the stars so much as soften them, like a veil drawn lightly across familiar faces. The astronomer watches without concern. Clouds come and go. They always do. There is no need to follow them with the eyes. They move at their own pace, and that pace is kind. The astronomer shifts again, just enough to ease the weight in their legs. The movement is slow, deliberate, unhurried. Even the smallest adjustment feels intentional here. as though the night appreciates gentleness. The chair creaks softly, then settles, returning to silence. Inside the observatory, the air feels balanced, not too cool, not too warm. The lamp continues to glow faintly, its light now barely noticeable unless looked at directly. Shadows rest along the walls like quiet companions, unmoving and content. The astronomer looks up once more and notices how the sky seems deeper now, darker in a way that feels inviting rather than heavy. The stars appear more numerous, or perhaps the eyes have simply adjusted. Either way, the effect is soothing, a reminder that there is always more than we notice at first glance. They trace another familiar pattern overhead, one that always seems to arrive when the night is fully settled. Its stars feel evenly spaced, calm, dependable. The astronomer remembers watching this same pattern years ago, wrapped in a different blanket, sitting in a different chair, feeling much the same sense of ease. Some things change, some things remain. The thought drifts away without attachment. A sound rises briefly from the distance. Maybe a branch shifting, maybe a small animal moving through the grass. It fades almost as soon as it appears, leaving the night hole again. The astronomer does not turn toward it. There is nothing to check. The sound belongs to the night, and the night knows how to take care of itself. Breathing continues, deep and even, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Each breath feels like a small wave arriving and retreating. No effort required. The body does what it knows how to do. The astronomer's hands rest loosely now, fingers relaxed, palms warm. The blanket covers them partially, creating a gentle pressure that feels grounding. The fabric barely moves as the chest rises and falls beneath it. Up above, the constellations have finished their subtle adjustments. They appear settled now, comfortable in their positions, as if satisfied with how the night has arranged itself. The sky feels organized without being rigid, balanced without being controlled. The astronomer feels a quiet gratitude rise, unforced and brief, not directed at anything in particular. Just an appreciation for this moment, for the stillness, for ease. They let their gaze soften again, no longer focusing on individual stars. Instead, they take in the sky as a whole, a wide, dark canvas dotted with gentle light. The effect is calming, almost hypnotic. The eyes begin to feel heavier, slower to blink. Somewhere below, in the sleeping town, a dog sighs in its sleep. A person turns over in bed. A clock continues its steady ticking, unnoticed and unimportant. Life goes on quietly, without needing attention. The astronomer remains seated, but their posture has changed. Less upright, more relaxed. Their head rests fully against the back of the chair now, neck supported, jaw loose. The muscles of the face soften, smoothing into rest. The sky continues to move, but only just, a gradual shift that can only be noticed over time. Stars inch along paths set long before this night began. The movement feels reassuring, predictable, safe. The astronomer lets their eyes close again, this time without intention. They do not decide to rest them. It simply happens. The darkness behind their eyelids feels warm and familiar, like slipping beneath calm water. The sounds of the night continue, muted but present. The breeze returns briefly, brushing against the observatory, whispering through a crack near the window. It carries with it the scent of damp earth, now deeper and richer than before. The astronomer breathes it in and lets it go. Thoughts appear less frequently. When they do, they are gentle and indistinct, images rather than words. A field under starlight, a slow-turning sky, a sense of floating. The boundary between watching and dreaming begins to blur. The astronomer feels it, though they do not analyze it. There is a softness creeping in, a loosening of awareness. The body sinks a little deeper into the chair. The blanket feels heavier, more comforting. The lamp's glow dims further, or perhaps the eyes simply stop noticing it. The room feels darker now, but not empty, full of presence, full of quiet. The stars continue shining, whether they are seen or not. The astronomer's breathing deepens again, slower than before. Each exhale seems to carry away another layer of tension, another small responsibility. There is nothing left to hold on to. The night wraps itself around the observatory, around the hill, around the sleeping town, around the astronomer, and around you as well. It does so gently, without pressure, like a blanket pulled up just high enough. If sleep comes now, it comes naturally. If wakefulness lingers, it does so peacefully. Either way, there is no wrong way to be here. The astronomer rests, suspended in this quiet moment, trusting the sky to continue its work, trusting the stars to keep their places, trusting the night to unfold exactly as it should. And as you listen, your own breathing may slow even more. Your body may feel heavier, warmer, more supported. Thoughts may drift farther apart, leaving more space between them. Let that happen. The night has plenty of room. The astronomer does not notice the moment when full sleep begins to arrive. There is no clear line, no doorway to cross. Instead, it feels like gently drifting farther from shore while still floating safely. Awareness loosens, but comfort remains. Their breathing settles into a slow, steady rhythm, in, out. Each breath seems to travel a little deeper than the one before, as if the body is remembering an old and familiar pattern. The chair supports every bit of weight. The blanket rests without pressing. Nothing asks for attention. Outside, the sky continues its patient turning. A star that was once just above the window frame has shifted slightly higher now. Another has drifted closer to the edge of view. These changes are subtle, nearly invisible, yet constant. The sky never stops moving, even when everything feels still. The astronomer's dreams begin softly. They dream not of places or people, but of motion, of light traveling slowly across great distances, of warmth spreading gently through dark space. The dreams have no urgency. They unfold like ripples, one after another, smooth and unbroken. The observatory remains quiet. The lamp finally dims, enough to be barely more than a glow. Shadows blend into one another, losing their edges. The room feels wrapped in darkness, but it is a friendly darkness, one that holds rather than hides. The breeze outside has settled again. The trees stand still, their leaves no longer whispering. Even the night animals seem to pause, as if respecting the calm. The world feels suspended, balanced on a breath. If you were standing on the hill now, you might feel the same sense of deep quiet, the kind that presses gently against the ears, the kind that feels full rather than empty, the kind that invites rest without asking. The astronomer shifts slightly in their sleep, a small movement of the hand, a deeper sigh. The body adjusts itself into even greater comfort. Muscles soften further. The face smooths completely, free of expression, free of effort. Above, a constellation tilts just enough to catch the light differently. It appears almost to nod, as if acknowledging the astronomer's rest, as if saying, everything is watched, everything is fine. Time continues to pass, but it feels round now rather than linear. Moments blend together. Minutes stretch and soften. There is no sense of waiting for morning, only the presence of night, wide and patient. The astronomer's dreams deepen. They float through a sky filled with slow-moving stars. Each one glows gently, not blinding, not sharp, just enough light to feel guided. There is no destination, no need for one. Back in the waking world, the observatory remains unchanged. The telescope stands quietly by the window, still pointed skyward, still waiting. It does not mind being unused. It understands rest, too. The hill beneath the observatory holds steady. Soil and stone and roots remain exactly where they are, grounded and calm. The town below sleeps on, wrapped in its own small dreams, unaware of the quiet vigil above. The night grows deeper. If you are still listening, your own body may feel different now, heavier perhaps, or lighter, breathing slower, thoughts drifting farther apart. You may notice the space between sounds, the comfort of stillness, the gentle pull toward sleep. There is nothing you need to hold on to. The story will carry you whether you are awake or not. The astronomer remains asleep, breathing evenly, held by chair and blanket and night. The stars continue to shine, unconcerned with being seen. They have shone through countless nights like this one, and they will shine through countless more. Sometime later, though time has softened so much it barely feels like later at all, the astronomer stirs, not fully awake, just enough to return to their familiar rhythm. Their eyes open slowly, as if the night itself is lifting their eyelids with care. This happens every night. The astronomer knows the feeling well. They sit forward in the chair, unhurried, letting the blanket slide just a little as they move. There is no rush to stand, no sharp motion. Everything unfolds in the same order it always has and always will. First, they reach for the telescope. Their hand finds it easily in the dim light, fingers resting on cool metal made smooth by years of touch. They adjust the angle by the smallest amount, not because it needs correcting urgently, but because this is what they do. A slow turn, a pause, another gentle adjustment. The telescope responds quietly, obedient and calm. They look through it for a moment, not searching, just confirming. The stars are still there, exactly as expected. The astronomer nods, slightly satisfied. Next comes the notebook. They turn back to the table and open it to the page marked by habit. The pages make a soft sound as they move, a whisper of paper against paper. It is a comforting sound, one that signals continuity. The pencil rests where it was left, ready without demand. The astronomer turns a page, then another. Slowly, carefully, each page holds small notes, simple marks, quiet observations from nights just like this one. There is no need to read them now. Turning the pages is enough. It reminds the hands of motion. It reminds the mind of familiarity. They stop at a blank page and make a single, gentle line. Not a sentence, not a measurement, just a mark to say this night exists too. The notebook is closed softly and placed back in its spot. Then the astronomer pauses. They do nothing else for a moment. They simply breathe. Outside, the wind moves through the trees again, slow and even. The astronomer breathes in as it passes, cool air filling their chest. As the wind fades, they breathe out. The timing is natural, unforced, in, out, again and again, breathing in sync with the night. This too happens every evening. The body remembers before the mind does. The rhythm settles quickly. Each breath is a little slower than the last, each one smoothing the edges of thought. The shoulders loosen, the chest softens, the jaw unclenches without instruction. The astronomer feels the repetition working its quiet magic. Nothing new, nothing surprising. And that is exactly why it is calming. They adjust the telescope once more, just slightly, then rest their hand on the table, then breathe with the wind again. The sequence repeats, gentle and predictable, like a lullaby with only a few notes. Outside, the constellations continue their slow settling. Inside, the astronomer mirrors that same ease. Everything aligns, movement and stillness, action and rest. The lamp glows steadily, unchanged. The blanket warms, the chair holds, the night listens. The astronomer returns to the chair and sits back, letting the ritual come to its natural end. There is no signal that it is complete, it simply feels finished. Familiarity wraps around them like another layer of warmth. And if you are listening still, perhaps your own body recognizes this rhythm too. The comfort of repetition, the safety of knowing what comes next, the relief of slowness. Nothing here asks you to stay awake. Nothing asks you to sleep. The story continues, whether you notice it or not. The astronomer rests again, breathing with the wind, surrounded by quiet actions that have softened countless nights before this one. The astronomer remains seated for a long while after the ritual ends, as if allowing the echoes of those familiar actions to settle into the room. There is a particular calm that follows repetition, a feeling like the gentle hum after a bell has been rung. The night seems to recognize it too, growing even quieter, as though everything has agreed not to interrupt. It has been acknowledged, aligned, and trusted. The astronomer glances at it once more, then lets their gaze drift past it, out the window, into the open sky. Stars fill the darkness in a way that feels generous rather than overwhelming. There is space between them, room to breathe, room to rest the eyes. The astronomer lets their vision soften again, no longer tracking individual points of light, but taking in the sky as a single wide presence. The wind returns gently, brushing against the observatory walls and slipping through the open window. It carries a faint, steady sound, low and even. The astronomer breathes in as it arrives, and out as it fades, sinking once more without thinking about it. This rhythm has lived in their body for years. Tonight is no different. Inhale, exhale. The repetition is soothing, almost hypnotic. Each breath seems to smooth the edges of the moment, rounding everything into softness. Thoughts slow, sensations deepen. The chair feels more solid beneath them. The blanket feels warmer. The air feels heavier in a pleasant way, like a gentle weight settling over the room. The astronomer's eyelids lower again, not fully closing, just resting. Through the narrow opening, the stars blur slightly, turning from points into faint glows. The effect is calming, like looking at lights through half-closed eyes while drifting toward sleep. They remember other nights, not specific ones, not moments with sharp detail, but the overall feeling of them. The same hill, the same observatory, the same slow settling of the world. Night after night, repeating itself with small variations, each one equally quiet, equally sufficient. There is comfort in knowing what the night will bring. The astronomer adjusts their position just a little, easing their back further into the chair. The movement is slow, careful, as though even the air might be disturbed by sudden motion. The chair creaks softly, then goes still again. Silence returns immediately, full and complete. Outside, the sky continues its gradual turning. A constellation that was centered earlier has begun to drift toward the edge of view. Another takes its place, unfolding gently, as if it has all the time in the world. The astronomer does not follow the movement closely. They trust it. The sky knows its path. The notebook sits closed on the table, pages holding the quiet marks of countless nights. The astronomer does not reach for it again. It has served its purpose. The ritual does not need repeating endlessly. Once is enough. Familiarity does not demand excess. The wind pauses. In the stillness that follows, the astronomer becomes aware of subtler sounds. The faint settling of the building, a distant creak of wood cooling, the almost imperceptible hum of the night itself. These sounds do not interrupt the calm, they deepen it, filling the silence with gentle texture. Breathing continues, slow and even, in out. The astronomer's thoughts drift again, but they are slower now, heavier. They form and dissolve without effort. An image of the sky as a wide ocean returns, stars like lanterns floating on dark water. The astronomer imagines themselves drifting there, not swimming, not steering, just carried. The idea feels pleasant, safe. Their hands rest loosely in their lap, fingers relaxed, palms warm. The blanket covers them almost completely now, rising and falling slightly with each breath. The body feels anchored, supported from all sides. The lamp's glow is barely noticeable anymore. It has become part of the background, like starlight filtered through clouds. The room feels darker, but not empty. It feels held. The astronomer's eyelids finally close fully, without ceremony. There is no decision. It simply happens, like a leaf settling onto still water. Sleep approaches quietly, not rushing, not pulling, just arrived. The astronomer's breathing deepens further, each inhale slow and full, each exhale long and easing. The muscles of the face relax completely, the brow smooths, the jaw loosens, the body surrenders to rest without resistance. Above, the stars continue shining, unaware of whether they are being watched or not. They do not require attention to exist. They do not dim when eyes close. They remain steady and patient. Time continues to pass, though it feels different now. Less like a line, more like a wide, gentle field. Moments stretch and soften. There is no sense of waiting for morning, only the presence of night, deep and ongoing. The astronomer dreams again. This time, the dream is quieter still. It is mostly a sensation, a feeling of floating. A sense of warmth spreads slowly through the body. The dream does not form pictures or stories. It simply exists, like a soft background hum. Outside, the breeze returns briefly, moving through the trees in a low, even whisper. Leaves rustle softly, then settle again. The wind carries on, leaving the hill wrapped in calm. The observatory remains unchanged. The telescope stands ready. The notebook rests closed. The lamp glows faintly. Everything is exactly where it should be. The hill beneath holds steady, grounded and patient. Roots grip the earth. Stones remain cool and unmoving. The land itself seems to be resting, breathing slowly in the dark. Far below, the town sleeps on. Dreams drift through quiet rooms. Someone turns over in bed. Someone else sighs and settles deeper into their pillow. The night connects them all, unseen and unspoken. The astronomer sleeps soundly now, breathing in sync with the world around them. Their body has fully given in to rest. There is no tension left to release, no thought left to follow. The stars continue their slow procession overhead. A faint cloud drifts through again, softening their light. It passes without drama, without hurry. If you are still listening, your own body may feel similar now, heavy, supported, calm, breathing slower without effort. Thoughts arrive less frequently, drifting away more easily. You do not need to focus on the words anymore. They are here, whether you hear them or not. Like the stars, they continue quietly, without asking for attention. The astronomer remains asleep, held by chair and blanket and night. Their ritual is complete. The repetition has done its work. Calm has settled fully. The night deepens further, rich and unbroken. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to notice, just rest. And so the sky turns, and so the night holds, and so you are allowed to drift, gently, slowly, into whatever rest awaits you. Somewhere between dreaming and waking, the astronomer becomes aware of a small disturbance in the sky. It is not a sound, not a flash, just a feeling, a quiet sense that something above is slightly out of place. Their eyes open slowly, without strain. The stars are still there, calm and glowing, but one of them seems different tonight, dimmer, a little unsteady, as if it has drifted just far enough from where it usually rests to feel unsure. The astronomer recognizes this feeling too. It happens sometimes. They sit up gently, careful not to break the stillness of the room. The blanket slips a little from their shoulders, cool air touching their skin, waking them just enough. Their movements are slow and familiar, as if guided by memory rather than thought. They step toward the window and look up again. There it is, a tired star. Not falling, not fading, just lingering, slightly off from the pattern it belongs to. Its light flickers softly, not in distress, but in hesitation, as if it has been shining for a very long time and is ready to rest where it belongs. The astronomer feels no urgency, no worries, only understanding. They place a hand on the telescope and adjust it carefully, turning the lens just enough to bring the star into clearer view. The metal is cool beneath their fingers, solid, reliable. The telescope responds with quiet ease, moving smoothly as it always has. The tired star comes into focus. Up close, it looks gentle, smaller than the brighter ones nearby, but steady at its core. Its light pulses slowly, like a deep breath taken after a long journey. The astronomer watches for a while, allowing the rhythm of the star to settle into their own breathing. In, out. They do not speak, they do not calculate, they simply observe, offering attention without demand. The star seems to respond to this, its flickering evening out, its glow becoming a little more consistent. The astronomer reaches for the notebook. The pages whisper softly as they open it, a familiar sound that feels like reassurance. They turn to a page already marked with gentle lines and dots, patterns recorded from nights before. With slow care, they add one more mark, a small adjustment, a note not of correction, but of guidance. The notebook is not for controlling the sky, it is for listening to it. They close the book and rest it back on the table. Outside, the wind moves through the trees again, a little stronger now, but still calm. Leaves rustle, then settle. The astronomer breathes in as the wind arrives, and out as it passes, sinking once more with the world around them. The tired star shifts, not suddenly, not dramatically, just a gradual movement, like easing into a familiar seat. Its position, relative to the nearby stars, changes by the smallest amount, almost imperceptible, unless you know exactly where to look. The astronomer does. They watch as the star drifts closer to its constellation, the pattern gently opening to receive it. The surrounding stars seem to make room without effort, stretching slightly, adjusting themselves as they have done countless times before. There is no resistance, only accommodation. The tired star settles. Its light grows steadier now, warmer somehow, less strained. It no longer flickers with uncertainty. It glows with quiet confidence, content to be part of the whole again. The astronomer exhales slowly, a long breath they did not realize they were holding. They feel a small warmth spread through their chest. Not pride, not an accomplishment, something quieter. The simple satisfaction of having witnessed balance return. They step back from the telescope and look at the sky with their naked eye again. The constellation appears whole now, complete in a way that feels deeply right, as if it has always been this way. Perhaps it has. The astronomer wraps the blanket back around their shoulders and returns to the chair. The fabric feels heavier now, more comforting. They sit and let their bodies settle, letting the night resume its gentle hold. The wind fades again. Silence returns. The sky continues its slow turning, unconcerned with the small adjustment that has just taken place. Stars move as they always do, patient and precise in their own quiet way. The astronomer rests their hands in their lap and closes their eyes once more. Their breathing slows naturally, syncing again with the rhythm of the night. In count, the tired star remains where it belongs, shining softly, no longer uncertain. Its light blends seamlessly with the others, indistinguishable unless you know its story. And that is how it prefers it. The astronomer drifts back toward sleep, comforted by the knowledge that everything has found its place for now, that the sky is balanced, that the night can continue uninterrupted. If you are listening, perhaps you feel something similar, a quiet sense of things settling, of edges smoothing, of small worries easing back into their proper places. You do not need to solve anything. You do not need to hold anything together. The night knows how to do that. The astronomer sleeps again, held by chair and blanket and the slow turning sky. Above, the stars continue their gentle watch, steady and sure, each one resting exactly where it belongs. And you are welcome to rest too. The astronomer shifts slightly in their chair, just enough to feel the weight of the blanket fully across their shoulders. Outside, the night feels thicker now, not heavy, but full of quiet, full of presence. And somewhere above, in the high, dark sky, the moon floats, pale and serene, its glow soft and gentle. The astronomer leans forward, not out of urgency, but out of curiosity. There is a feeling tonight, subtle and almost imperceptible, that the moon itself is thinking. Not loud thoughts, not messages to deliver, but small, quiet thoughts, like whispers carried across great distances, meant for no one in particular. Yet, somehow, the astronomer can feel them. It begins with the light. The moon glows a little warmer than usual, edges softened, spreading silver across the hill and the observatory. The astronomer closes their eyes for a moment, letting the light touch their eyelids. The glow feels like understanding, patient, unhurried understanding. They breathe slowly, matching the rhythm of the night, and allow the mind to open just a little. There are no words here, no explanations, just the sense of presence, of awareness, of a companion above who has always been there, steady in its quiet way. The moon seems to lean slightly closer, not in motion, but in intention. Its thoughts drift slowly, like clouds that do not obscure the light, but move along with it, a feeling of serenity, a memory of calmness, a reminder that even in darkness there is light. The astronomer listens, not actively, not like a student taking notes, but gently, as one would listen to a friend who does not speak but is deeply understood. The soft glow from the lamp inside blends with the silver of the moonlight outside, creating a kind of balance, a conversation of shadows and illumination. With every blink, the astronomer feels the moon's thoughts settling a little closer to their own. A soft recognition that the night, the stars, the cold air, and the still hill are all part of the same quiet rhythm. They are not separate. They are not alone. A small wind stirs outside, brushing against the window, rustling the edge of the blanket. The astronomer inhales, and the air seems to carry a faint whisper, as if the moon's thoughts are moving with it. A pattern emerges: in, out, glow, quiet, presence, stillness. The telescope rests silently nearby, an old friend that has seen many nights just like this. The astronomer doesn't reach for it now. Tonight does not require looking through lenses. Tonight is about listening, feeling, letting the moon speak in ways beyond words. The moon's light spreads across the notebook left open on the table. The pages seem to shimmer softly, but there are no notes needed tonight. The astronomer does not record. They do not analyze. They breathe with the night, letting the moon's quiet thoughts fill the spaces between their own. It is a slow, gentle conversation, one-sided yet complete. No rush, no need to respond. The moon shares what it has always shared. The world is vast, quiet, steady. Even when unseen, it is present. Even when tired, it holds its place. The astronomer tilts their head back slightly, letting the moonlight wash over their face. Eyes closed again, they imagine the moon drifting across the sky, thoughts trailing behind it like silver ribbons. Nothing sharp, nothing insistent, only soft, patient motion. They feel their own breath begin to match the rhythm of the moon, slow and deep, in, out, in, out. Each inhalation carries the calm of lunar presence. Each exhalation releases the tension of the day. Time, as always, becomes unimportant. The moon does not hurry, and neither does the astronomer. The chair beneath them, the blanket around them, the soft night outside, everything is aligned in a rhythm that requires nothing but observation and quiet attention. A small flicker of light crosses the horizon, a distant star waking to the night, and the astronomer smiles faintly. The moon seems to notice as well, its pale glow strengthening just enough to touch that star, to acknowledge it gently. The astronomer listens again, this time more attentively, but not with expectation. The moon's thoughts are like music played so softly you almost forget it is there, yet it fills the whole room, the hill, the observatory, the very air around them. They imagine sitting there for hours, though hours no longer exist in the conventional sense, just the astronomer, the moon, and the slow breathing night. And with each moment, the mind softens further, thoughts slowing, muscles loosening, shoulders dropping. The notebook is forgotten. The telescope waits patiently. The moon tilts slightly across the sky, as though shifting position to keep watch. Its thoughts are quiet, but warm, comforting, like a hand resting lightly on the astronomer's shoulder. No words are exchanged. None are needed. Understanding flows silently between them. The night grows fuller. The stars, steady companions, shine on their familiar patterns, calm and reassuring. The astronomer feels connected, not only to them, but to the entire expanse of sky, to the earth beneath, to the wind, to the small, quiet town sleeping below. And somewhere in that quiet, the tired star from earlier twinkles gently again, steady now, resting in its place. The astronomer allows a small smile. Balance has returned. The moon's thoughts continue their slow drift, carrying the sky forward, carrying the night forward, carrying the comfort of presence forward. Their mind is lighter. Their bodies are warm. The moon continues to whisper, soft as a lullaby, soft enough that even the astronomer's breathing seems to carry its cadence. If you are listening now, imagine that same warmth brushing across your shoulders. Imagine the moon's quiet thoughts stretching across the night sky, softening the edges of your day. Imagine yourself breathing slowly, in and out, in sync with the calm rhythm of the night. The world has slowed. The stars are steady. The moon speaks softly, and you are welcome to listen. The astronomer drifts closer to sleep, the moon's gentle thoughts lingering in the mind like soft music, like a lullaby meant only for those who pause long enough to hear. The night, the stars, the wind, the chair, the blanket, and the moon itself hold everything in gentle balance. And in this quiet, suspended moment, all is as it should be. The astronomer slowly lifts their head from the chair's backrest, though still heavy with calm. The moon's quiet thoughts have settled like soft music in the air, and the stars above shimmer gently in response. There is no hurry. There never is. Tonight, the astronomer decides to count, not to measure, not to hurry, not to finish, but simply to rest. They begin with the closest star, a small but steady light. One, it pulses softly. One, their breath follows it. Slow and even. Inhale, out. The number is not spoken aloud, just held in the mind, a gentle companion to the rhythm of night. Two, a brighter star, farther off in the dark. The astronomer follows its glow with the eyes, letting the attention drift from one to another. There is no race, no pressure. Two, just two. Three, another flicker, high above, steadying itself as it moves with the slow turning of the sky. Three, in, out. With each number, the astronomer feels the body relax more deeply. Shoulders loosen, muscles soften. The blanket becomes heavier in a comforting way, folding around them. The chair cradles their weight fully now. 4, 5, 6. Stars seem to respond to this attention, steadying further as the astronomer counts them in silence. Each number becomes part of the breath. Inhale to the count. Exhale to the count. A gentle cadence forms, slow and calm. The surrounding darkness is no longer empty. Each star is a point of focus, a marker in the night's quiet rhythm. Even the dimmest ones hold their place. Recognize now. 7, 8, 9, 10. The astronomer pauses briefly at 10, letting the numbers linger in their mind. The wind whispers against the window, rustling the leaves outside, perfectly timed with their breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4. The count starts over, slow, deliberate. The rhythm of repetition begins to carry them. The mind softens as it drifts through the stars, moving lightly from one to the next. The body follows the gentle pattern. It is a form of meditation, though unforced, effortless, and peaceful. Each star is acknowledged, each breath taken. The world beyond the observatory fades slightly. The town below continues to sleep, unaware of this quiet ritual. The trees, the hill, the lamp, the blanket are still, all are present. The astronomer notices patterns. Some stars group together, some blink faintly, as if speaking in their own secret language. But there is no need to interpret, only to see, only to count, only to rest. 20, 21, 22. The numbers stretch on, unhurried, softening the edge of consciousness. The stars are infinite, and so is the comfort. Each one carries the weight of stillness. Each one reminds the astronomer of continuity. A small breeze drifts in again, brushing lightly across the skin. Inhale with the breeze, exhale with the fade. 23, 24, 25. The sequence continues without effort. Counting becomes breathing, and breathing becomes counting. The mind drifts toward images, soft glows, tiny flickers, gentle arcs of light crossing the night sky. Numbers are less important than sensation now. The astronomer feels each one like a heartbeat, steady and slow. The ritual is complete in itself. The tired star from earlier twinkles faintly, recognized in the count. Its light now blends seamlessly with the others, steady and calm. The astronomer's hand rests lightly on the notebook, but no notes are necessary. Tonight, the act of counting is enough. 30, 31, 32. The stars roll past like a river of light. The astronomer does not tire. The body feels weightless, anchored and warm. The blanket presses gently, the chair supports fully, and the night carries the rest. The moon watches from above, its glow steady, soft, and patient. Its thoughts drift slowly, harmonizing with the astronomer's rhythm. Inhale out, count, rest, count, rest. Eyes grow heavier with each number, the mind floating closer to the space between waking and sleep. The stars, the moon, the soft glow of the lamp, the blanket, the wind all work together to cradle the astronomer, to guide them into calm. 40, 41, 42, and beyond. Numbers become shapes, light, rhythm. The astronomer does not notice where counting ends. There is no need. The process itself is enough. The stars above continue their quiet dance. The tired star shines steady. The moon breathes softly across the hill and observatory, and the astronomer, wrapped in blanket and night, drifts slowly into a deep, gentle sleep, counting only with the rhythm of the sky. The astronomer stirs once more, though their movements are slow, deliberate, and heavy with calm. The counting has softened their mind. The stars have settled into patterns that feel familiar and comforting. And now, from the far reaches of the night sky, something new appears, a comet, moving gently across the heavens, its tail long and faint, glowing softly like a ribbon of silver light. The astronomer leans forward slightly, bringing the telescope closer, but even this action is unhurried. There is no need to rush, no need to follow or chase. The comet drifts by at its own pace, distant, serene, entirely unconcerned with whether it is noticed, and that, the astronomer knows, is part of the wonder. They breathe in. The wind brushes softly through the open window. They breathe out. The comet moves steadily, a silent traveler across the wide, dark sky. Watching it, the astronomer feels a deep sense of alignment with the universe. There is no urgency here, no deadline, no expectation, just motion, quiet and purposeful in its own way. The telescope brings the comet into gentle focus. Its tail stretches behind it, glowing faintly, like a thread connecting distant stars. The astronomer follows the movement slowly, eyes tracing the arc across the sky. Each fraction of motion is absorbed fully, carefully. Time seems to expand. Minutes drift into something soft and indistinct, yet entirely satisfying. There is a kind of conversation in this act, though no words are spoken. The comet drifts, the astronomer watches, the night responds, the stars shimmer faintly in acknowledgement, and the moon's glow bends lightly across the hill, adding a touch of silver to the scene. The comet seems to pause for a moment in the brightest patch of stars, not because it can, but because the mind of the astronomer wants it so. They imagine themselves floating alongside it, drifting without effort, moving as slowly as the universe itself. The rhythm of the comet mirrors their own breath. Inhale, out, inhale, out. The tail of the comet flickers ever so slightly, like a soft exhale of light, and the astronomer allows their thoughts to drift with it. No conclusions, no judgments, only the sensation of following, observing, and resting in the pace of something larger than themselves. The wind rises slightly, brushing the trees outside, rustling the edges of the blanket. The observatory creaks softly, in tune with the quiet rhythm of the night. The comet drifts further, its light stretching like a soft smile across the sky, moving slowly, without urgency. The astronomer notices tiny details, the faint shimmer of particles in its tail, the way its light reflects against the stars, the subtle curve of its path across constellations that have stood unchanged for centuries. Each observation is gentle, deliberate, like turning a page in a book already familiar. They feel a warmth in their chest, not excitement, no wonder in the sharp, insistent way, a slow, deep satisfaction, a comfort. Minutes pass or perhaps hours, though time no longer matters. The comet continues its drift. The astronomer does not follow it with urgency, does not rush to track or record. They simply allow themselves to move along with the comet's gentle pace, feeling the space expand around them, feeling the night carry them. The stars, familiar companions, remain steady. The tired star twinkles faintly in its place. The moon watches quietly, its glow soft and supportive, lending a gentle warmth to the hill, the observatory, and the astronomer themselves. The comet stretches farther across the sky, and yet it does not fade in the way a harsh light would. It becomes a part of the rhythm, the long arc, a line of soft silver that mirrors the rise and fall of the astronomer's chest as they breathe. The lamp on the table glows faintly, casting shadows that move almost imperceptibly across the floor. The notebook remains closed, forgotten for now. The telescope stands ready, an old friend that does not demand attention. Everything exists exactly as it should. The astronomer leans back in the chair, the blankets sliding into place around their shoulders, weight and warmth evenly distributed. Eyes half closed, they follow the comet in their mind, tracing its path slowly, like following a slow river of light. There is no urgency, there is only motion, gentle, patient, enduring motion. The comet drifts past the edge of view, fading gradually into the deeper darkness, and yet it leaves a feeling behind, a sense of flow, a sense of time stretched into calmness, a sense that the universe itself can move at its own pace, and we can simply rest while watching. The astronomer closes their eyes fully now, breathing with the rhythm of the night, with the wind, with the moon, and with the fading comet. Inhale out, inhale out. The stars continue to shine, the moon continues its quiet watch, and the night flows steadily on. And somewhere in that stillness, the astronomer, anyone listening, can simply drift with it, following without urgency, trusting in the calm motion of the world. The astronomer leans back in the chair once more, letting the blanket settle fully around their shoulders. Outside the window, the hill slopes gently down toward the town below. It is bathed in a soft silver glow from the moon. Every roof, every tree, every quiet street caught in the gentle light. The town is completely still, windows dark, streets empty. Not a single car moves. Even the wind seems to slow as it passes over the rooftops. There is a deep, encompassing sense of safety, as if the night itself has wrapped the town in a protective embrace. Even the nocturnal creatures, usually active at this hour, have slowed. A fox pauses in the shadow of a tree, ears twitching faintly, then rests. An owl perches silently on a branch, its head turning just enough to watch without disturbance. Somewhere distant, a cricket's faint chirp echoes, and then fades into nothing. The world is in its slowest rhythm, breathing gently, evenly, comfortably. The astronomer feels this deeply. There is no need for worry, no rush to check, no thoughts pulling them back toward the day. Everything is exactly as it should be. Everything is safe, watched over, protected, if not by a conscious hand, then by the natural rhythm of the world, the stars, the moon, the slow turning of the night. They close their eyes, allowing the silence of the town to fill their mind. It is not empty silence, but full, soft, complete. Each quiet sound, the whisper of leaves, the faint hum of distant streets, the soft movement of air over the observatory is a reassurance, a reminder that they are not alone, and neither is the world below. The telescope rests at their side, the notebook closed, the lamp glowing gently. The room itself seems to exhale. Even the chair seems to relax, as though it has been holding its breath while the astronomer observed the night. Inhale, out. The astronomer breathes with the rhythm of the earth, with the rhythm of the town, with the rhythm of the stars above. There is a deep sense of alignment, a quiet knowledge that all is well, nothing is amiss. There is no danger, no urgency, only presence, only calm. A small breeze slips through the window, moving gently across the blanket, brushing the astronomer's hand. The warmth of the room and the chill of the night mingle softly, a perfect balance. The mind softens further, muscles loosen, thoughts fade into the background. The town remains still. The night holds it in patient, protective hands. Somewhere far above, the moon continues its slow drift, pale and calm. Stars keep their steady watch. The tired star twinkles faintly, safe now in its place. Even the comet, which passed earlier, seems to have left a lingering sense of wonder in the sky, quiet and unobtrusive. The astronomer allows themselves to feel the weight of this safety. The realization is almost physical. Their chest rises and falls easily, shoulders softened completely. There is no need to move, no need to check, no need to worry. Everything is in order, everything is held, everything is calm. And as they sit there, quietly, in the stillness of the observatory, they recognize something gentle, almost imperceptible, that this night the town, the creatures, the stars, the comet, the moon, and even themselves exists in a shared calm. Everything is steady, everything is aligned, everything is being watched over in its own quiet way. They let their hands rest in their lap, their eyes close softly, their breathing syncs with the rhythm of the night. The world below, the world above, and the world inside their chest all move together, slow, even serene. If you are listening, imagine that same feeling spreading through you, that deep, secure calm, the knowledge that the world is safe, that the night holds everything in gentle hands. Let your body follow the rhythm of this safety. Inhale, out, inhale, out. Let the tension in your shoulders drift away. Let your mind rest. The astronomer leans back fully now, blanket snug, chair supportive. The town is safe. The creatures are calm. The stars watch quietly. The moon glows softly. The comet has passed peacefully. The night, steady and protective, holds all of it in silence. The astronomer rises slowly from the chair, careful not to disturb the quiet that has settled over the observatory. Their hands rest briefly on the telescope, feeling the cool metal, the familiar weight of it. Tonight, it is no longer needed. The sky has settled. The stars know their places. They do not need instruction or observation. Their light continues without interruption, steady and patient, stretching across the endless night. The telescope is closed with soft care. No click is too loud, no movement too hurried. The astronomer pauses for a moment, hands still resting on the smooth surface, eyes lifted toward the sky one last time. There is a profound satisfaction in watching the familiar constellations, the tired star twinkling gently, the comet now a faint memory fading in the distance. Everything is as it should be. Turning away, the astronomer reaches for the lamp. Its warm glow has been a companion all evening, guiding the eyes, illuminating the notebook and the telescope. Now, fingers brush the dimmer switch, and the light softens, fading almost entirely, leaving only the subtle reflection of moonlight on the walls. The room grows cooler, quieter, and still. The shadows stretch and settle like a gentle sigh. The blanket, slightly heavier now with the weight of a long night of observation, is adjusted across the shoulders. The astronomer moves slowly, savoring the comfort of it, the texture against the skin. Every movement is deliberate, every gesture unhurried, as if even the body understands the rhythm of this hour. They settle into the chair once more, letting it cradle their weight fully. There is no need to reach for the notebook, no need to take one more note, no need to adjust the telescope further. The stars, the moon, the night itself are all in perfect alignment. The astronomer can simply rest, eyes close softly, breathing deepens, slow and even. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The mind drifts, untethered from thought, carried by the rhythm of the universe. Each breath aligns with the quiet pulse of the night, the invisible heartbeat of the sky, the soft hum of the sleeping town below. The astronomer feels trust settling in, a deep, unshakable knowing that the stars are steady, that the moon continues its watch, that the world is as it should be. There is nothing more to do tonight, nothing more to observe, to calculate, to measure. The night is complete. The cosmos is steady. Outside, the wind murmurs softly against the windowpane, a gentle lullaby. The rustle of leaves in the hilltop trees is subtle, soothing. Even distant nocturnal creatures, if awake, move slowly, carefully, aware of the calm that has fallen. The The entire world seems to breathe with the same rhythm, synchronized to the quiet heart of the astronomer's own breath. The mind drifts further, imagining the stars above, stretching infinitely, yet gentle, unhurried, unbothered by time. Each one shines in its place, a small reassurance that the night is constant, eternal, and safe. The tired star rests comfortably among its companions. The comet continues its journey far away, leaving only memory and faint traces of light behind. The astronomer allows the eyes to remain closed fully now. Thoughts soften, edges blur, and the body relaxes deeper into the chair. The blanket is heavy in the best way. The lamp is dim, the observatory quiet. All that remains is the slow, patient rhythm of breath, the unseen heartbeat of the night, and the gentle presence of the stars above. There is a feeling of release, a letting go. The weight of day, of worries, of responsibility drifts into the shadows. The night is enough, the sky is enough, and the astronomer is enough, resting safely within the quiet, trusted care of the universe. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The stars twinkle softly through the window. The moon hovers pale and patient. The night holds everything in its calm, protective rhythm. And finally, at last, the astronomer allows sleep to come, slow and gentle, trusting fully in the constancy above. They are not rushing, they are not striving, they are simply present, carried by the rhythm of the cosmos, the glow of the moon, and the quiet watchfulness of the stars. And in that stillness, they rest, fully, completely, peacefully. The astronomer shifts slightly in the chair, letting the weight of the blanket settle fully across their shoulders and lap. Each movement is slow, deliberate, and mindful. Their hands rest lightly on their knees for a moment, feeling the warmth of the fabric and the faint pulse of calm in their body. The lamp is dimmed to almost nothing, leaving the observatory bathed only in soft, silver moonlight and the gentle glow of distant stars. There is no need for more observation tonight. The telescope has been closed. The notebook rests quietly on the table, and the sky continues its slow, patient turning without demand. The astronomer takes a long, deep breath, feeling the air move in and out, matching the rhythm of the wind outside, the slow drift of the clouds across the sky, and the subtle twinkling of the stars above. The mind begins to drift gently, not with thought but with sensation. The blanket is soft against their skin. The chair supports fully, cradling the body. The night air brushes faintly through the open window, carrying the scent of dew, the faint aroma of distant pine, and the subtle hint of the sleeping town below. Every detail is gentle, deliberate, and unhurried. They close their eyes fully, allowing the visual world to dissolve. In its place comes the sensation of the universe, the slow turning of the earth, the steady glow of countless stars, the watchful calm of the moon. Each breath aligns with this rhythm, slow and steady, in and out, in and out. The astronomer imagines the stars above, each in its perfect place, shining silently and reliably. Some are bright and commanding, others faint and delicate, like whispers of light. Each star has its own path, yet they all form a pattern that requires no interference, no rush, no urging. The astronomer feels this truth deep within their chest, a profound comfort spreading slowly through the body. Even the town below is still. Not a sound reaches the observatory from the streets, save for the soft rustle of a tree outside or the distant sigh of wind through the hills. Every house sleeps, every animal rests, every light is dimmed. And in this quiet, the astronomer feels the profound safety of being witnessed, of being cradled by the world itself. The mind wanders, lightly, like a feather drifting on the breeze. The tired star from earlier twinkles faintly in the sky, content in its place. A comet passed earlier, leaving only a gentle trace of light. The constellations are familiar companions, steady and unhurried. The moon watches quietly, casting its pale, protective glow across the hill, the observatory, and the sleeping town below. The astronomer begins to imagine themselves drifting along with the rhythm of the universe. Their body relaxes further, sinking comfortably into the chair. Shoulders drop, hands rest loosely in their lap. Muscles soften, as though the night itself is massaging away any lingering tension. Every exhale releases the day. Every inhale welcomes the calm of the night. The blanket feels heavier now, comforting, a protective weight. The lamp has faded almost entirely, leaving the room in subtle, comforting shadows. Outside, the air carries only gentle sounds, the faint sigh of the wind, the distant whisper of leaves, the subtle hum of the sleeping world. There is nothing to do, nothing to hold, nothing to fix. The astronomer breathes with deliberate slowness, their rhythm echoing the cosmic motions above. In and out, in and out, the stars continue their slow twinkle. The moon glows softly, the comet fades into memory. And in this harmony, the astronomer feels the profound ease of existence, exactly as it should be, exactly where they belong. With each breath, the mind drifts further from urgency, further from worry, further from the waking day. The night is sufficient, the stars are sufficient, the wind is sufficient, the moon is sufficient, and the astronomer is sufficient. A faint breeze drifts through the open window, brushing against the blanket, the skin of the hands, the edges of the notebook. It carries a soft, calming energy, like a lullaby without words, wrapping around the astronomer and encouraging sleep. The chair cradles the weight of the body, the blanket presses comfortingly, and the room itself seems to sigh with relief, pleased to hold this quiet presence. The astronomer imagines drifting gently through the observatory, through the hill, past the sleeping town below, and upward, floating slowly toward the stars themselves. Each one pulses softly, inviting the mind to rest alongside it. The tired star shines steady. The constellations remain calm. The comet's trace lingers faintly, like a soft memory, and the moon watches, constant and pale. Time begins to dissolve. Minutes, hours, days, none of it matters. The rhythm of breath, the slow pulse of the night, the soft motion of the stars, the protective glow of the moon, these are all that exist. Each inhale fills with calm. Each exhale releases tension. Each blink becomes unnecessary as the mind drifts further into relaxation. The astronomer's body grows heavier, sinking into the chair. The blanket is a warm weight. The shadows of the room deepen. The lamp glows only faintly, like a soft echo of the moonlight. And the night continues its gentle turning, carrying all things safely along. The town, the creatures, the stars, the comet, the moon, and the astronomer. And in this stillness, this quiet, this alignment, sleep finally begins to take hold. Slow, gentle, complete. The astronomer trusts the night, the stars, the universe itself to continue. They no longer need to watch. They no longer need to count or measure or observe. The cosmos holds everything in patient care. Inhale and out, inhale and out. And the astronomer drifts fully into sleep, carrying on the rhythm of the universe, held by the calm of the night, and trusted by the stars themselves. The astronomer finally lowers their head, letting it rest gently against the back of the chair, or perhaps against a small pillow carefully placed on the tabletop. The blanket slides slightly, settling with quiet weight over shoulders and arms. Every muscle softens completely, the tension of the day, the reminders of responsibilities, the lingering thoughts of tomorrow, they all fade into the shadows of the observatory. Outside the window, the stars continue their slow, steady blinking. Some pulse faintly, almost like breathing lights, while others hold their brightness with serene patience. The tired star from earlier glimmers softly, comfortably in its place. The moon rests lightly across the horizon, pale and calm, observing without expectation, bathing the hill and the observatory in a gentle glow. The astronomer's breathing aligns with this rhythm. Inhale, out, inhale, out. Each breath is slow, steady, unhurried, in perfect harmony with the night around them. The air carries a faint scent of cool earth, of night flowers, and the subtle rustle of leaves, stirred occasionally by a quiet breeze. Every sound is soft, distant, almost imperceptibly, deeply comforting. The notebook remains closed. The telescope rests quietly by the window. The lamp glows faintly, fading further as the moonlight grows slightly stronger. All objects, all companions, are still. The observatory itself seems to exhale slowly, wrapping the astronomer in warmth, calm, and quiet assurance. The mind drifts gently, carried on the steady pulse of the night. There are no tasks, no obligations, no pressing thoughts, only presence, only calm, only this shared rhythm with the universe above and the sleeping town below. The astronomer imagines themselves floating lightly through the space between stars, drifting past constellations, following the gentle arc of the comet's fading path, feeling the soft glow of the moon as it rests in quiet watch. The night, infinite and patient, moves without hurry, and the astronomer moves with it, carried fully by its calm. Slowly, the eyelids grow heavier, but there is no abrupt closure. There is only the continued, comforting sense of safety and presence. The stars blink gently, like reassuring eyes. The moon rests pale and unwavering. The night stretches softly in all directions, unbroken, unending, expansive. And the astronomer, finally at ease, allows themselves to melt fully into the blanket, letting the chair or pillow carry their weight completely. The breath continues, slow, deep, rhythmic. The body relaxes into every contour of support, every shadow and light, every whisper of the wind outside. The story does not end. It simply lingers, like the soft hum of the night itself, open and infinite. The stars continue to twinkle. The moon continues its quiet watch. The wind carries faint echoes of life below, distant and soft, and the astronomer rests, fully, gently, completely aligned with the patient rhythm of the universe. There is no sharp conclusion, only calm, only presence, only a slow, gentle invitation to drift deeper, to breathe and to rest. Inhale, out, and with that, the night holds all things quietly, fully, and endlessly. The astronomer sighs softly, feeling the weight of the blanket and the quiet of the night surrounding them. Outside the window, the stars blink gently, steady and patient. Somewhere deep in the night sky, the tired star twinkles with reassurance, and the moon rests pale and calm above the hill. A comforting thought drifts through the astronomer's mind. The stars would keep watch until morning. They would remain steadfast, blinking slowly, patiently, without concern or hurry, guarding the night while the town slept and while the astronomer rested. Each star, no matter how small or distant, had its place, and in that place it would shine. Breathing slows further, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. The rhythm aligns with the quiet pulse of the sky. The astronomer feels completely safe, fully held by the night, and reassured by the constancy of the stars. There is nothing to do, nothing to fear, nothing to rush. Even the faintest lights in the town below seem protected, cushioned by the soft glow of the moon and the watchful gaze of the stars above. The world is calm, the world is steady, and in this moment, the astronomer, wrapped in their blanket, resting their head, drifting slowly, understands that everything will continue to be cared for until the morning light appears. And so the night stretches gently onward. The stars would keep watch until morning, quiet and eternal. The moon rests pale and steady. The wind whispers softly through the leaves, and the astronomer drifts fully into sleep, carried by the calm, patient rhythm of the universe, knowing that all is safe, all is steady, all is watched. Good night,